Hello, 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 and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Just doing a brief video about the motion hearing on September 16th regarding the gag order and admitting the intrinsic evidence. Looks like Sonya was in the courtroom. From what I've seen in previous text messages, Sonya has been to a hearing before. She showed up to a hearing, but nobody saw her, from what I know. But oh, we saw her that day. Dennis Byron got her. Pam Esquire got her. And she came dressed like who did it, what for, and why. I don't get it. I really don't get it. I mean, it's not like whatever she wore, we weren't going to, say something bad anyway. So she really can't win. But
of the trial and protect the defendant's rights to a fair and impartial adjudication of the charge.
Why the long lime green nails, toes and fingernails, and then she had a long, natural looking ponytail. But the front and sides were kind of thinned, I really hate to talk about people's hair because, everybody goes through their hair struggles. But Sonya just needs to be Sonya. It's kind of hard to do that when you're dealing with a dude who's always worrying about your looks, your nails, your hair, what you're wearing, They tell you they like you how you are, but then they always put in suggestions on what you should and should not do, with yourself. Sonya was alive 50 plus years before she met Ernesto, so you would think she'd be comfortable in her skin and she'd kind of have it figured out by now what works for her and what does not work for her. But anyway, Nesto looked old and ragged. He still wanted to have that dang on beard and mustache, but looks like he did, cut it down some or whatever. And he still has hair, so his hair hasn't thinned out as he claimed it was before. Maybe the commissary has some deep conditioning bar soap or something that he's able to buy with Sonya's money. I don't know. But I think Real Talk Bougie said he had on a pea yellow collared shirt. Looks like he slimmed down for the hearing. He said he wasn't going to let himself, get too much out of pocket. So he must have skipped a few meals prior to the hearing. Because he looked slim, Looked like he hadn't gained no weight. Looked like he was walking like he didn't have no knee problems. And then everybody's trying to figure out, why didn't you look back and acknowledge Sonya? I mean, by now he's had a gazillion hearings. He should be used to this by now. Look around the room. You can't be that scared to make eye contact with Dennis or, anyone for that matter, to where you can't look back at your woman. She's there to support you, and I'm sure she wanted some kind of contact with her man. So anyway, the gag order motion was denied. From what I was hearing earlier on Real Talk Bougie's channel, that it's official. Someone said in the chat that and Real Talk Bougie verified it, that it has been denied. I think Will Wooten pulled up some cases where, it's basically unconstitutional for you to gag the media, and nothing that Hoover said, Ernesto's lawyer Hoover said, would, cause for the media to be gagged. So that's been denied. Now, Will presented his side for it, submitting the intrinsic evidence, which is Ernesto's past convictions and past jail and prison terms, which would give proof as to why they have to do the RICO or whatever. I think he has given substantial evidence as to why the intrinsic evidence should be admitted. And I think it does support the fact that they move forward with a RICO. There was a lady that got up in her winter church skirt set to defend Ernesto and say that, I guess basically she was saying the past convictions don't have anything to do with his charges now, and that I guess it would be unjust or unfair for them to bring up all his prior stuff. But I mean, unless you're on his defense, you would see, or you would know that Ernesto's been doing the same thing since 87. His first conviction was 1988. And even though they all haven't been the same crimes, he's still a career criminal. And we don't know what he's gotten away with that hasn't been, charged, or that he hasn't been arrested for. And I have some other, information about other victims that he has who, may not have lost financially, but they lost a lot dealing with Ernesto. And they actually thought they knew him, like they had been knowing him over a span of years, to where, they could put a little trust in him. And, they lost out big dealing with Ernesto. So I don't think there's anything innocent in what he does. He's all out for self, and he has in his brain that the only way he can get it and become successful is by conning people, scamming people, robbing people, getting it that way. For some reason, he doesn't think he can get it the honest way, So we can continue reporting. Sean Hoover called out some of the bloggers and tried to act like he did background checks on them, even though I think he just went to their LinkedIn page. And I won't call their names out because that's scary. And, I wouldn't want to be called out and falsely accused for lying about being a part of the media, or, going behind the scenes, getting confidential information. So I won't even, mention the names that Sean Hoover brought up. But he was in the divorce hearing of Shirley and Ernesto, where Ernesto didn't show up. Sean Hoover showed up, but he didn't make sure his client showed up. He was in there snooping, trying to see, what media was going to log in so he could run back and tattletale to Judge Dunaway. So anyway, it was unsuccessful. Hopefully he focuses on freeing his client, which is next to impossible. Infamous Sylvia wasn't in the courtroom. Sean accused the bloggers of lying when reporting about Ernesto. And, infamous Sylvia has told some tales on her channel, not the other bloggers. So it was real strange that infamous Sylvia was not there. And then they're going to meet again, as Judge Dunaway said, they're probably going to have several more meetings on this intrinsic evidence and regarding Ernesto's situation. Will and Sean Hoover, Will Wooten, prosecutor, DA Will Wooten, and Sean Hoover were having a tight suit contest, and Native Tribe believes that Sean won. Sean beat Will in the tight suit contest, so much so to where Sean could not get up either in fear of busting his suit, or he had already busted his suit on the way when he was rushing to get there, because y'all know he was late. So he had either already busted his suit, or he was scared he was going to bust it, so he couldn't get up and do his, presentation. So anyway, those were the highlights. They are going to, I guess, look more closely at the Rule 22s when processing or approving those. And, I guess they're going to just be more careful about the media that they allow to record, Ernesto's case. So anyway, drop down in the comments on your thoughts of this hearing, how it went. Sonya, Old Man Nesto, Tight Suit Will, and Tighter Suit Sean. Bye.